Well, my motivation ties into a couple areas. I'm an educator. I've been an educator in the Birmingham metro area for over 12 years. I worked at UAB, Miles College, and Jeff State. My passion lies in education. I'm invested in education. I'm a member of the Alabama Education Association and the National Education Association. So my passion and my commitment to service, because I believe this position is a position of service, and it's the position that's the closest to the community. So I want to be of service, use my skills, my abilities to make a difference in the Birmingham City Schools. Okay. One of the obligations that we have as a school board member is to keep a budget for education budget, as what I'm trying to say. And I want to make sure that we have professional development money allocated for our teachers, because it's important that they get the needed help they need in the classroom. And also, by being a member of the Alabama Education Association, we have worked to get a raise for our teachers. I think it's important that they understand and be supported for a raise. And just to add, that it's public knowledge that the city gives a certain amount of money to the board so that we can use. So I want to see if we can increase that amount so that we can be able to provide more programs, more professional development, and more initiatives that's going to support our teachers. My goals that I hope to achieve, and I have to make sure that it's a clear understanding that I'm only one person and we work as a team as board members. So what I will try to do and will work with the superintendent and the board members is to make sure that our students, when it comes to academics, is being assessed appropriately. One of the biggest things that ties into education is the assessment. So I will work to have a formative and a summative evaluation of the programs, because there are programs in place, but we don't know if they're working or not. So that's where the assessment comes in. I also want to work closely with the community, because from my observation, the community needs to have a voice in what's going on in their community, and to make sure that the board members understand that we serve the community, we serve the teachers, we serve the students, and to make sure that we open that line of communication with them. Okay, that's a good question. I've been in Birmingham for over 12 years, and the quality of life is an open question, so it's kind of hard to answer that. But I will answer it in the way of things that we can improve. I think it's a big concern when it ties into poverty and making sure our kids have what they need compared to surrounding schools. It is public knowledge that surrounding schools outside of the Birmingham City, teachers are getting paid more and students have more extracurricular activities, or they have more opportunities. So it's really putting Birmingham City schools first is something that I think the city needs to pay close attention to, and making sure that we change our labeling of the schools, because right now there are 13 schools labeled as failing schools, and that should not be. Labels can create perceptions and create an issue that causes people not to really see the value in the school system. So I want to work to change that, and I think the school system and the city can do that as well. Okay. From our research, and I'm making sure I tie it into what I have studied and understood, as I am an educator, as I've said before, and I'm also will complete my PhD in educational leadership in 2018. The reason why I'm saying that, because I've done studies on educational systems and educational culture from K to 12, and one of the biggest issues that we have that is going to help improve is poverty, the academic level, making sure our kids have the supplies, have the outside resources when it comes to after school programs or programs put in place that's going to help mentor our kids. So that's going to be a key factor in improving and making sure that we are there. From the candidates that are out right now, a lot of them are educators, but I don't know if they are educators invested in the educational system like I am. As I've said earlier, I'm a member of the Alabama Education Association and a National Education Association. So I have worked towards making changes and being a part of the conversation when it comes into education. So I think that's going to be a big difference. And I am a millennial, let me get that out, which means that, it's time for us in that age group to step up and try to make a difference. We talk about change, but we need to be the change that we talk about. So that's one of the biggest things that I think separates me from the other candidates, and my goal and purpose to serve and understanding what the school board responsibilities are and how to implement those responsibilities.